Hey guys, thanks for listening to We've Been Drinking MMA. We are breaking down the Fight Night Rozenstruik versus Almeida card. This is the first fight. It's Morano versus Means, and I am going with Alex Morano.
And I am going with Morano as well, with a caveat, like just watch, like live bet this one. Like watch after the first round to see what Tim Means is coming.
It's a stand-up war, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a stand-up war, and I think Morano's a better striker, fighter in general. But like, if Morano wants a firefight and Tim Means can take it, this is gonna be an interesting fight.
Right, because like if like you said, you were telling me earlier, like it means we'll make it dirty.
Yes.
Dirty boxing, get close,
elbows,
make it awkward,
knees.
Yeah, knees. He's like one of those kind of fighters that can fight everywhere, like Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Might at an outside perspective, you might say, oh, not the most athletic, but then when you get in the octagon with him, all of a sudden he starts taking the fight anywhere he wants, and you might be uncomfortable in certain situations, and he'll be comfortable everywhere.
And his cardio.
Yeah. So Tim Means is 39 years old, and Alex Morano is 32. So I feel like Morano's kind of priming. Not maybe perfectly prime because he got knocked out in his last fight, but pretty prime still. 32 years old. He had a close fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio in his last fight. He got TKO'd or KO'd in the third round, and it was just one of those things where Ponzinibbio leapt in like a jaguar and threw a left that was pretty strong, and Morano thought it was okay and backed away from that and tried to back away a little bit more, but then because he leapt in like a jaguar, he got the 1-2 and the right hand came after that left and just bang right on the button, and Morano went down. It is what it is. I just don't think Means has that speed or jumping ability, that agility to really pull that athletic move off. If you think about before that fight that Morano just lost, he was on a 4-fight win streak, and his only other loss was he got KO'd by Chaos Williams like in 2020, and then he lost to Anthony Pettis in 2020 as well. But like he had like a 4-fight win streak right before this loss, beat Semmelsberger, Mickey Gall, Donald Cerrone KO Donald Cerrone in 2021. So, Cerrone was a little bit, on his last leg almost, but still, it still is a KO over Cerrone before Cerrone.
That was really a domination.
It was domination, and the thing is that Morano is pretty elite. He jumps in and out very quickly. He's got really good counters, pretty good jab, got the 1-2, got the punch on the run. He's got everything that you say about an elite fighter. Only thing is he doesn't really go for that many kicks in general, so he's more boxing, and Tim does throw, I think, a little bit more leg kicks, so Tim's got the more complete, I guess you could say, game as far as a stand-up, but Tim's punches in general, I would say the 1-2 is fast, Morano's is just as fast, but then Morano can also do it on the run. That's where I give him the advantage. But like I said, Means has, he can go to the body a little bit. His counters are a little bit slow. Morano's are faster there, but Means, like I said, he got the leg kick. Morano doesn't really throw the leg kick, so Means can make it dirty, like Lousy said. I just think Morano is elite with the jumping in and out, the athleticism, the faster punches,
his aggression,
how many punches he throws and punches he lands is a lot. He's actually Lousy's type of fighter, Morano.
The volume.
It's just the problem is that for him, I think, is that Means is a guy who can kind of make it dirty, and that's why he's saying live bets. If he gets the first round, because he might start faster, and Morano is a little hesitant from his last knockout loss. Morano is minus 200. You can get him for cheaper if he drops the first round. So
it's minus 200?
Yeah, he's minus 200.
Okay.
I think 220 now. He's just going up and up every day probably a little bit, so got to get him early.
So my prediction is Morano, and live bet it if you can.
Absolutely. Morano for me as well, straight up.
Thanks, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment. Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. I am going to be talking about the Daniel Rodriguez Ingari fight. Gary? I want to say Gary. Ingari fight. My prediction is somebody's going to get knocked out in this one, and it's probably might be a first round.
It could definitely be, just because they both go forward.
They both go forward so much.
And they really go to really do damage for real all the time.
Yeah, the boxing, they just want to go forward, throw a combination. Somebody's probably going to get knocked out in the first round in this fight.
Yeah, Ian Gary is minus 300. I'm going with Ian Gary. 25 years old, young, up-and-comer. He's on a big win streak while he's undefeated. He KO'd his last opponent. He has a lot of KOs on his finishes on his record. He's only been to decision 3 times out of 11 wins. And, he just goes forward, has a great jab, lightning fast jab. Maybe not lightning fast, but it's a great jab. It's really, really great. Fast. He throws it a lot.
With intention.
And then he uses it to set up punches. Great shot to the punch to the body. Like, one of the best. It reminds me of how. Do you remember how good Alexander Gustafsson's uppercut was? How it just landed.
Oh yeah.
On like Glover Teixeira and stuff.
Yeah.
This one is just that. It's the most perfect. It's basically one of the most perfect body punches I've seen in the UFC. Just rips it perfect, and it's just he can do it on so quickly, like just so on command. It just happens. Yeah. It's so quick.
Like he's done it 10,000 times before.
Like he's trained it for like 1,000 years or something. Yeah. I don't know. It's
since
crazy.
He was 8 years old or something.
Yes, exactly. And so he uses it to set up. Rodriguez, primarily a boxer, doesn't really leg kick. So really, Rodriguez really just goes for punches. Jab is pretty good, but Gary's is faster. Rodriguez does push forward. Gary does too. Like I said, the body punch is equal. Rodriguez has a phenomenal body punch as well. And that is my opinion is his key to victory is to slow Gary down because Gary is fast,
younger,
switches up the patterns, goes forward, can counter punch. He can do basically everything he wants to do in there. What he wants to do with the stand-up, he can go wherever he wants. Rodriguez just pushes forward kind of like a bull. But Rodriguez still, is smart with the body punching. So it's going to be fun to see the two great body punchers in the division. Yeah.
With Gary, he's not throwing to counter. He keeps going forward. So he is hittable. Just like in his last fight versus
Song
Kanang. He was knocked down.
He got knocked down in the first round.
Yes.
Yep.
And because of how aggressive he is, he is hittable. Yep. So in a boxing fight like this,
first round always dangerous for a guy who likes to really go forward and throw a lot of punches. Like Gary went for a 1-2. It kind of landed, but then he paused there for a second, thinking he might throw another one. And when you pause and you're way in the pocket, then that's when the other guy can counter you. That's a problem. And the other guy knocked him down with a clean counter. I think it was like a big overhand punch, and Gary just went down, and it was. I thought Gary. I remember watching the fight live, and I thought Gary, this is over. Maybe his undefeated streak's over. But looking back on it, I rewatched it, and it looked dangerous. But Gary did a good job covering up his hand, and then when he had space, he was able to then get one leg up and then the other leg up, and he was pretty. He was up in a hurry, and he's smart. It just shows that he's got good IQ even when he's hurt. Yeah. Which is just not true for a lot of...
He doesn't panic.
Dude, a lot of people who get to the top 7, but they never really crack the top 7 or top 5 because they're not smart when they get hit.
Yeah.
Or they're not smart when somebody else does...
Takes them down, whatever.
When they get in a little danger against other elite top fighters, they don't do well. And, they get knocked down or something, and they just get flustered. So Ian Gary definitely got a lot of fighting spirit. Back to the style matchup, body puncher versus body puncher. Gary's got the faster jab. Gary's got the faster 1-2. Gary's got the punches on the run. Gary's got phenomenal leg kicks, body kicks, and even kicks to the head.
And he's 11 years younger.
He's got it all over Rodriguez, but Rodriguez has the forward,
and the grit.
The grit, he goes forward and he rips to the body. So, when you do that, it just makes the fight look closer. But Gary's minus 300. He started out as like minus 250 like a few days ago. You got to get him early. Because otherwise...
Use him as a parlay.
Or just add him to the parlay.
Or just somebody's going to get knocked out in this fight, which is a realistic possibility.
I think I will get another... I will bet Gary straight up, but also a small bet on maybe just... if it's a good price, on just it not going the distance.
Yeah.
That's it. And then maybe another small bet on just Gary by KO because, like we said, Rodriguez likes to go forward, and Rodriguez, he pauses in his combination sometimes because, a lot of people like backing up, and he thinks that it's okay for him to kind of maybe get too aggressive going forward. And then he throws, like a 1-2, then he'll think of a third or, sometimes he's thinking, through in his combination. He's not just fast like Gary is. Gary's faster. So with his punch combos. So if that happens,
thinking through his combination instead of reacting.
Dude, Gary's counters will land, if that happens. So a KO is a really good possibility. So yeah, going with the young gun Gary on this one.
Somebody's getting knocked out. Thanks for listening, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment.
Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us. Continue to join us for the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. We are breaking down the co-main event for the Rozenstruik Almeida card. It's Johnny Walker versus Anthony Smith. It's a heavy hitter, light heavyweight fight. I'm going with Johnny Walker.
I'm going Johnny Walker money line, and I'm probably going to put a little bit of money on Johnny Walker, get him out of there as a KO.
I love it. I think I'm gonna join you with that. Get another smaller bet on the Walker KO, and then Walker straight up. He's minus 110.
It just seems like with him switching gyms, Johnny Walker, that is.
When did he switch gyms?
Prior to his last fight against Paul Craig.
Phenomenal. He looked great in that fight.
Oh my God, he was like
invincible
on his feet. Like his power with his leg kicks looked dangerous.
Dangerous. Those leg kicks were probably the fastest I've seen at that weight class, no doubt.
Like he wanted to kick his leg off.
Well, as fast as Rakic, definitely.
Yeah.
And Rakic is the best leg kicker.
Incredible. Crazy fast strikes. It seems like he wants to fight people instead of entertain people right now.
Right. He's in kill mode, and I think you're right. The camp switch. He's 2-fight win streak, but he got KO'd by Jamal Hill 3 fights ago. Point is, he switched the gyms, and now he submitted a wrestler who's a really good grappler who just Ion Kudalaba, who just came off a KO last week against our guy. Caveman guy. What's his name? Bulldozer.
Tanner Bozer.
Yeah, he's going from heavyweight to light heavyweight.
I was high on that.
That was a crazy line. I want to say this real quick. It was crazy. Just because I've never seen this. He went from, it was a close fight, like on the odds. I mean, literally, Kudalaba went from like minus like maybe 100 or minus 150, and he went to like minus 750 in like 10
seconds.
And then literally he KO'd Bozer in the first. And I was like, damn, people knew something about it. But regardless, so that's my point. Kudalaba is really, really good fighter, and this guy has a submission win over him, Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker's a striker. So that just shows you that Johnny Walker's grappling game has leveled up, and now he shouldn't be afraid to go to the ground with Anthony Smith, who's a pretty damn good grappler himself, against people who are stand-up fighters like Walker. Smith got spawn as well with the submission. So Walker's now, graduated. He's leveled up in his grappling. Striking looking phenomenal versus Paul Craig. Craig caught the kick, and then he threw like a 3-punch combination with one foot on the ground.
Against his hip. He's like elbow, he's out.
Going on. Then he knocked him down with like a back fist, whatever, like a punch and then a back fist punch, and then what's his name? Craig went down to the ground, got knocked down, and then boom, just finished him on the ground with some more elbows, like you said, back fist, and just boom, out of there. He's clinical right now, and he's dangerous right now in this matchup versus Anthony Smith because he's got a 6-inch reach advantage. It's huge. On top of that, like we said, the leg kicks. The leg kicks are just as fast almost as Rakic, and we all know what Rakic did to Smith. Rakic basically TKO'd Smith with leg kicks. I mean, Smith basically went down to the ground, and then he got, he should have been, it ended up being a decision, but it would have been finished, but Rakic should have let it stand up, and then he would have kicked him, but he just decided to just hop on him and just secure the top 5 ranking after that fight. But my point is that Smith's leg, he puts it out there. It's like straight. It's almost straight out there. Like it's not even bent a little bit. It's almost straight out there. It is so there. It's the most susceptible. I don't even know how to say the word, but it's the most susceptible ever leg to be kicked in the history of the UFC.
It's like he's daring him.
He's daring him, and he just does not stop. He goes forward, and his leg is there to be kicked. He's so susceptible to being kicked. It's ridiculous.
You said it right.
I did say it right, I think. But it's suspect. He's suspect with that leg, man. And Walker's
Can I say he's sus?
I like sus better. He's so sus to getting. That's perfect. Got it. Boom. Because it's just it's tough to do. It's tough to say. So Walker's gonna get that leg so bad. He's gonna damage Smith's leg so bad. Would not be surprised if Smith is gonna be limping after the first round and literally the rest of the fight. So
change his style up in general.
Change it up from the stance because his leg
orthodox to southpaw,
switches
whatever.
it to the back. Yeah. On top of that, Walker's counters, like we saw in the Craig fight, phenomenal.
Can I give
combos, punches on the run,
other side of the coin
amazing.
Here? Smith is a gamer. He's a well-rounded fighter as well.
He is.
So I wouldn't totally rule him out, but I think Johnny Walker's he's dangerous and he wants to fight.
So we have to say that he's got 53 fights.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith has 53 fights. People retire with half of those fights.
Yeah.
People will retire with 25 fights. He's got 53 fights. And so he's basically 70 years old. As far as his experience, he's a genius. That's why he stays in the top 5. He's got so much experience.
Yeah. And with that experience come knowledge, and
Yeah,
you never know what might happen in the fight game. But
and
like,
he's only 34 years old. He's young still. So it's
he's
kinda
only
crazy.
3 years older than Johnny Walker.
Walker's 31.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Johnny Walker's dangerous, and he can throw. So
the thing is that we would say that Smith is very consistent, because of the experience, but he just got TKO'd by Ankalaev. But Ankalaev is a great fighter. It's hard to really take anything away from it. But Ankalaev did TKO him. He submitted Ryan Spahn, like we said, the fight before that.
That was a fun fight to watch.
He's always fighting good fighters and beating them. Beat Devin Clark by submission, 3 fights ago. He's TKO'd Jimmy Crute's leg off with a kick to the leg. And then before that, he got the Rakic fight with the leg kicks. So, I know he's improved the leg kicks, but that leg, like I said, it's just out there. And you'll see it. You go watch him. That leg is just out there to be kicked. He has not changed that at all. And that's one thing you'd think he would change that. He hasn't. He's going to be screwed in this fight. Because of that alone, you're screwed. And then on top of that, Johnny Walker has his head straight in this new camp, in this new gym, which is SBG Ireland, which is Connor's gym. So, he's got the well-rounded grappling. You can say what you want about McGregor, but McGregor really was good enough at grappling where he didn't get destroyed on the ground by Mendes. A lot of great strikers, they lose on the ground, but McGregor found a way to at least be able to be competent on the ground to get back up.
Yeah, Mendes was... He was controlling McGregor for a while.
Alvarez was in his prime at 155 when he moved up for the second belt, and he stuffed all of Alvarez's takedowns.
Yeah. That
says something. Whether you want to say like Alvarez got scared, or it doesn't matter. McGregor stuffed him. McGregor. So my point is that Walker's going to learn grappling, takedown defense, all the things he needs to do to be a complete fighter from SBG Ireland. And happy for him that he's a good guy. It just seems like he's got a laissez-faire, fun-loving, entertaining attitude, and now he's turning it into a little bit more professional as he gets into his 30s. And I'm just happy for him because he's happy. He looks happy. He's always been happy, but now he's happy and confident and competent. It's gonna be fun to see.
Instead of trying to entertain, he's trying to fight.
Yeah, it's just good to see him actually getting his potential. He's got a 6-inch reach advantage, so the punching should be no problem to really land on Smith. He's, like I said, the combinations, everything's looking good. The counters, he's slick, and he's just creative and unorthodox. It used to be to his detriment. Now he's using it to his advantage, and he's being more consistent, and he's using it to stay on the outside rather than just going forward and get clocked like an idiot. So he's not going to get clocked like he did with Hill 3 fights ago. He's now using it smart. Proof is like what he's doing with Craig. He's using the kicks more instead of just the punches. So he's just being smart now. And can't wait to see this fight. It's going to be a great one, guys. Walker by a small bet with Walker by KO.
That is correct. Yeah, that's my prediction.
I like both those bets. I'm going to do the same.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. I'm Lousy here with
his back end,
and we are talking about the main event of the Rozenstruik Almeida fight. And I'm going with Almeida, and I don't think it's gonna be close.
I'm going with Almeida too. He's a 5-1 favorite, and I think all of his wins have come by finish in the first or second round. He's never won by decision. It's all finishes. Yeah, I think the best bet for me, is going to go with Almeida by either KO submission, whatever.
Double chance
bet. And then also Almeida, just throw him on the parlay. And I think the breakdown is pretty simple. Rozenstruik has the great power straight left that he has. He uses it as a check hook as well as just a punch that he throws. It's his weapon that just gets everybody down, literally. He made his career in the UFC with the power straight left, basically.
He has that power, that one punch power.
It's just like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, like Gary with that beautiful body punch. It just is so. It's like he's trained it, and freaking for 1,000 years. It's ridiculous. It just is so perfect. If I wanted a power straight left from anyone, I would take Rozenstruik's. It's that perfect. But
bad style here.
One thing though, for a little protection, Almeida about 6 years ago, he does have two losses, one by decision in 2018, and in 2017 he got KO'd by a punch in the first round in the first 16 seconds by a guy named Thiago Moreira. So Rozenstruik is plus $400 to make $400. So Rozenstruik by KO for that insurance, he'll probably be about plus $600, so $100 to make $600. So I'll do a small little KO insurance bet on Rozenstruik just in case he does clip Almeida.
Yeah.
Might as well because usually
live bet it.
Yeah, man.
If it goes past the first round, maybe do that.
So like Rozenstruik, going into it, he'll be plus 600 for the KO. So I'll just bet a small bet on that, and then I'll bet my parlay bet for Almeida, as well as my Almeida by KO or submission bet, that double chance bet. And then hopefully, if Rozenstruik can drag it out into the second round, Almeida will become cheaper, and then bet Almeida there. Because eventually, this is the problem with the style matchup, is that Rozenstruik, even though he has a puncher's chance with that power straight left, Almeida's so fast. And Almeida doesn't start with punches, so he's not going to get countered. He starts with leg kicks. Yeah. Really smart as a wrestler who knows you can't take him down through his leg kick. So he leg kicks you first, like kind of like John Jones type thing. And then he gets you comfortable, and then he just, boom, shoots a takedown. He's so perfect. I've never seen his takedown get stuffed. He's like 100% accuracy. Rozenstruik has 0 takedown defense, it feels like.
None.
Literally. He doesn't go for takedowns at all, and Almeida is 6.7 takedowns a fight.
I'll fight.
So it's ridiculous. And the thing is that Rozenstruik has shown he throws unnecessary punches. If it's not the power straight left, that's perfect. But the other punches, he'll literally just be probing with a hook. Like, just lackadaisically throwing a hook and then pausing. Almeida's going to make you pay, and I feel like Almeida's going to get him out in the first. I really do. I just don't want to bet it just in case whatever something happens and Almeida wants to maybe get some experience in there against a top 7 guy. But I think he probably
he's going to come with intention because he wants to get ranked. He wants a belt.
Rozenstruik is super sus. He's super susceptible. Super sus on to the takedown. I mean, I really feel he's going to get taken down easily. And I really feel like this fight is really, really no chance for him except for that left straight. That's where we're getting the KO insurance. So it's a quick prediction, guys. Almeida by KO or submission. And then, of course, throw him on the parlay.
Almeida in the distance. Easy bet.
Easy. Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate you.
Like, subscribe. Thanks, everybody.